So today's topic that we're going to be talking about is another regiment, actually a couple of regiments, but before we dive into the regiments and the history of these regiments, make sure you guys hit that like button, subscribe to my channel. Love you guys. And let's begin our journey. So today's regiment, last few times we've been talking about the Confederates and their brigades and their units and stuff like that. So today we're going to take a step into the Union side, more specifically the 24th Illinois Regiment as well as the 82nd Illinois Regiment. With that being said, we're going to start with the 24th. The 24th Regiment of Illinois Volunteer Infantry was also known as the 1st Heckler Jaguar Regiment, was an infantry regiment that served in the Union Army during the American Civil War. It was made up almost exclusively of German, Hungarian, Czech, and Slovak immigrants. It was the first unit mobilized for the war in Chicago and was composed of many 48ers veterans of the Revolution of 1848 in Germany and the Australian Empire. The 48ers were Europeans who participated in or supported the revolution of the 1848 that swept Europe. In the German states, the 48ers favored unification of the German people, a more democratic government, and guarantees of human rights. The Revolution of 1848, known in some countries as the Springtime of the Peoples or the Springtime of Nations, were a series of political upheavals throughout Europe in 1848. It remains the most widespread revolutionary wave in European history. The 24th Illinois Infantry was organized in Chicago, Illinois, and recruited from counties of Cook, McLean, LaSalle, and it was mustered into federal service on July 8, 1861. The regiment was divided into companies from A to K. It was assigned to the Army of Ohio in November 1861 and later was transformed to the Army of Cumberland in November 1862. The regiment was mustered out on August 6, 1864. As you guys can see, it was mustered out as a regiment 1 year prior to the end of the Civil War. Because the Civil War ended in 1865, so they ended their regiment 1 year early of the end of the Civil War. So what battles and conflicts was this regiment involved in? They were involved at the Battle of Perryville in October 8, 1862, the Battle of Stones River from December 31st, 1862 to January 2nd, 1863, the Homa Campaign June 24th to July 3rd, 1863, the Battle of Chickamauga September 18th through the 20th, 1863, Battle of Missionary Ridge November 25th, 1863, Atlanta Campaign May 7th through September 2nd, 1864, the Battle of Resaca May 13th through the 15th, 1864, Battle of Kennesaw Mountain June 27th, 1864. The regiment suffered 3 officers and 86 enlisted men who were killed in action or who died of their wounds, and 2 officers and 82 enlisted men who died of diseases, for a total of 173 fatalities. Now, if you guys are not familiar, I have been out to Stones River, so if you guys haven't checked that video out, make sure you guys check that video. Make sure you guys hit that like button. Post any comments that you guys may have of that video as well. Now I've done videos of the Battle of Resaca. I was recently out there for the reenactment of the Battle of Resaca. So make sure you guys check out those videos as well as my videos when I went out to Kennesaw Mountain. Now Missionary Ridge, I'm going to go back out there this weekend and dive a little bit more into Missionary Ridge as well as Chickamauga, Point Park, and many other areas around the Chattanooga area. Now Perryville is actually in Kentucky, so I haven't made it out there yet. I'm hoping that one day I can make it out there and bring you guys that content as well. Now we're going to dive into the 82nd, which was yet another German regiment out of the state of Illinois. The 82nd Regiment Illinois Volunteer Infantry, known as the 2nd Heckler Regiment, was an infantry regiment that served in the Union Army during the American Civil War. It was one of the 3 German regiments furnished to the Union by the Illinois. Approximately 2/3 of its members were German immigrants, and most of the other third was composed of immigrants from various countries. Company C was almost entirely Jewish, and Company I all Scandinavians. The 82nd Illinois Infantry was organized in Springfield, Illinois, and it was mustered into federal service on October 23rd, 1862. Colonel Heckler was the one that was commanding both regiments. Attached to the 11th Corps of the Army of the Potomac, it lost 155 men at Chancellorsville, including Colonel Heckler, who was badly wounded. Although just 23 men were battlefield casualties at Gettysburg, 89 were captured during the retreat through the town. In the fall of 1863, it moved with the rest of the 11th Corps to the Western Theater. Colonel Heckler had recovered from his wounds by now and was promoted to brigade command. He would ultimately resign the following winter. After seeing action at Chattanooga, the 82nd Illinois became part of the new 20th Corps, joined the rest of the Sherman's army in the late 1864 through 1865 campaigns in Georgia and the Carolinas. The regiment was mustered out on June 16, 1865. The regiment suffered 4 officers, 98 enlisted men who were killed in action or who died of their wounds, and 60 enlisted men died of diseases, for a total of 162 fatalities. So as you guys can see, the 82nd had less fatalities than the 24th, but in all honesty, both regiments suffered a great bit of losses to the regiment. Now, what battles was the 82nd involved in? Well, they were engaged at the Battle of Chancellorsville, Battle of Gettysburg, the Battle of Wachihi. The Battle of Wachihi is actually in Tennessee. There's a historical marker that you can drive by and read the plaque of that battle. They were also at the Battle of Missionary Ridge, as well as Battle of Resaca. They were ultimately joining General Sherman as he was marching to the sea to eventually capture the city of Savannah. So that's actually pretty cool information. Now this one, the Battle of Bentonville, was a battle out in North Carolina. If you guys are not familiar with my last video, when I dived into the 31st Alabama Infantry, they also was at the Battle of Bentonville. So if you guys haven't checked that video out, make sure you guys check that video out as well. Now, we are at 66 subscribers, you guys, so I appreciate all the support, all the love, all the comments, all the likes. Appreciate that so much from the bottom of my heart. Make sure you guys continue liking the page. Make sure you guys post any comments that you guys may have. Continue subscribing to the channel. Let's work our way up to 100 subscribers, you guys. Also, if you guys are not familiar, I have created a Facebook fan page as well. I will make sure that I post the link in the description box as well. Love you guys and talk to you guys again soon. Stay tuned for the video coming up this weekend with those battlefields.